For example, the UK now has its Online Safety Act of 2023, which absurdly criminalises speech causing psychological harm. Canada, they have their Bill C-63 that empowers human rights commissions to investigate hateful statements. We've also got over in Australia, they've got their e-safety commissioner. The EU, this one is a recent one, they're attempting to regulate to have access to people's private messages. Is this where it's all going perhaps in the end? Because, we've been talking about today, what are the definitions here? What are the standards that the BSA are upholding and so on? It seems to me that it is an open-ended discussion. It could perhaps go absolutely anywhere. It ends up being an internet police, for instance.
Yeah, it's about political ideology, Alistair, because you've mentioned Britain, they have a Labour government. Australia has the Labour government. Canada has a Liberal government, all left-leaning organisations. So is the European Union. It was during a time of a Labour government here that we had the attempted controls on free speech. So it's very much about your political ideology. And even though those left-leaning governments were voted into power democratically, I think that the population at large realised pretty quickly that they do not want restrictions on what they can say, what they can think, and what they can tell each other. And as a consequence, you've had ludicrous situations in the UK where, what was her name, Lucy Connolly, posted up a tweet and was sent to jail for 31 months. I mean, it was just absurd judicial activism, let alone very, very bad law in the first place. I mean, she's out
and Graham
now.
Linehan now was
Graham Linehan, another case. So we just don't want to be anywhere near that kind of regime in this country.
The only problem, Peter, is that we are. And if you think that this business by the Broadcasting Standards Authority is, absolutely horrifying, watch this space, because I would be willing to put money on the fact that by Christmas, and probably just released just in time for Christmas, there will be some proposals about regulation of online content that will effectively be a safer online services light, that will have evolved from the before 16 ban of kids on social media. That is going to expand in scope, and by December, it will be something that is out there, and it is going to be even more frightening than what this Broadcasting Standards Authority thing is. That's my prediction.
Right, thanks,
that's
David.
where we're going.
So tell us more, David. What do you think will actually be the restrictions?
Well, what I think it will be is a combination of what Paul Goldsmith has with his media review, because that was a very, very clever piece of work by the Ministry of Arts and Culture. It had 5 propositions, 4 of which were pretty anodyne. They were not too bad at all. But it was proposition 4 that was really spooky, because that was the one where they wanted to, it was a platform neutrality proposal, which was going to absorb pretty much all internet-based platforms as far as content was concerned, and set up some kind of standardized system for content moderation and content control. That was the similar thing to what was proposed with safer online services and web platforms. And remember that these terrible propositions emerged from the fevered brains of Wellington bureaucrats, from people in the Department of Internal Affairs and people in the Ministry of Arts and Culture, who really have no idea about things like freedom of expression or what people want, but they have a model that they want to perpetuate and that they want to propagate. So that's the starting point, is the media review thing. Then what you've got sitting on top of that is what is happening with the Education and Workplace Committee that was established to look into this restriction on kids under 16 going on social media. The scope of that inquiry has expanded. Even although submissions closed a little while ago, they have extended the time for submissions. They are getting submissions from all sorts of people. I got a copy of a submission from a professor of law in a California university, and I thought to myself, what is this guy from California doing submitting to a New Zealand internet monitoring committee? I might say that I agreed with everything that he said. Thank God he was on the right side of the argument. But that's the difficulty that you're facing. It's a continuing trajectory. And I said that in my Holy Grail article. And the thing is, and I only found this out yesterday, the thing is the trajectory is increasing. And by December, you'll see that they're getting even closer to the castle of the Grail.